This is a policy and resource problem, not evidence that dogs are inherently bad. And turning it into that, it derails any meaningful conversation. How's it going, everybody? Rob here, back with another video. And with this one, well, we're going to be responding to another video from K-Nun. This is a video that they published, I want to say on February 26, 2026. Morocco to cull 3 million dogs, plus much more. Now, for those who don't know who K-Nun is, this is an individual who has, I'm going to call it DDS, Dog Derangement Syndrome. Kind of a parody to the Trump Derangement Syndrome, where this individual is obsessed with dogs. Whether they fear them, they hate them, whichever the case. They have posted or created a channel that has solely been on the purpose of trying to denounce dogs. For a lot of us, we see them as, an aspect of, modern society. They've been around for generations, and we have individuals like this that spend their every waking moment obsessing and raging over the fact that dogs exist. Now, first off, I want to say this, that if you're afraid of dogs, it's understandable. We're not going to shame you for that. But there's a difference between people who are afraid of dogs, disliking dogs, and then all out being obsessive to the point where it is concerning, to say the least. So strap in. We're going to be talking about their Morocco to cull 3 million dogs, plus much more. Now, let's get this straight right away. And I'll leave a link for the video too. There are real issues involving stray animals, public safety, and even what's happening in Morocco right now. But this video we're responding to, it doesn't explain the problem. It distorts it, exaggerates it, and weaponizes it to push a narrative that falls apart the moment you actually examine it. Today, we're breaking it all down. From the claims about dogs being quote-unquote parasites, to the misuse of real-world incidences, to the Morocco situation that's being turned into outrage bait. Because this isn't just wrong, it's dangerously misleading. Alright, so let's look at the core claim. Dogs are parasites. The foundation of this entire argument is the claim that dogs are quote-unquote worthless or quote-unquote parasitic and contribute nothing to society. That's not analysis, that's ideology. Let's look at reality instead. Dogs serve documented, measurable roles in society. Search and rescue operations, law enforcement and military support, medical detection like seizures, cancers, and diabetic alerts, therapy and emotional support, and assistance for people with disabilities. That's not parasitic. That's functional and beneficial coexistence. Now, can dogs be a problem in certain contexts? Absolutely. But replacing nuance with blanket statements like dogs are worthless isn't an argument. It's bias pretending to be logic. Now, moving forward, the video leans heavily on a hoarding situation, an apartment filled with neglected dogs. And yes, that situation is awful. But here's the key issue. That's not a dog problem. That's a human problem. Animal hoarding is widely recognized as a mental health issue, a form of neglect and abuse, and a failure of enforcement and intervention. Blaming dogs for that situation is like blaming cars for reckless drivers. The real issue is the lack of regulation enforcement, failure to intervene early, and irresponsible ownership. Using that case to justify sweeping claims about all dogs, that's intellectually dishonest. In the video, Canine claims society has become quote-unquote too permissive with dogs. And here's where we can actually agree. Partially. Yes, there are legitimate concerns. Poorly trained dogs in public spaces, owners that do not clean after their pets, noise complaints, safety concerns in certain areas. Those are real issues. But the conclusion they jump to is the problem with their argument. Instead of better regulation, responsible ownership, and clear public boundaries, they go straight to dogs shouldn't exist in public at all. Dogs have no place in human environments. That's not a solution. That's extremism replacing policy. Now, let's talk about the biggest claim. Morocco culling 3 million stray dogs. This is where things get serious. Yes. Let's point out there. Yes. There are reports of large-scale culling tied to public safety concerns, rabies control, preparation for international events like the World Cup. And yes, the methods being reported are disturbing. But here's what the original video gets wrong. It treats this as proof that dogs are the problem, justification for anti-dog ideology, a cultural or moral failure of entire groups of people. That's not analysis. It's exploitation of a crisis. The real reason, the real issue, is far more complex. Stray population control, infrastructure limitations, public health risks, lack of widespread spray and neuter programs. This is a policy and resource problem, not evidence that dogs are inherently bad. And turning it into that, it derails any meaningful conversation. The video repeatedly leans on fear. Dog attacks, public encounters, worst case scenarios, and yes, let's be real here, dog attacks happen. But context matters. The vast majority of incidences are linked to poor training, neglect, abuse, and irresponsible ownership. Not the mere existence of dogs. If we applied the same logic used in that video to anything else, we'd be blaming cars because of accidents, cities because of crime, people because of bad behavior. The arguments made by K. Nunn do not hold up. Now, let's look at the real problem and the real solutions, shall we? If we strip away the rhetoric, the actual issues are clear. Irresponsible ownership, lack of enforcement, poor urban planning for animals, inefficient animal welfare systems, stray population management failures. And if we look at the real solutions, strong regulations, mandatory training and licensing, enforcement of leash and public behavior laws, investment in spray and neuter programs, and education on responsible ownership. We can avoid obvious issues, and unfortunately, in this case, blanket bans, dehumanizing language, and treating animals as the root of all problems, which I've stated, and many other people have stated, that they are not. At the end of the day, this video we're responding to isn't about solving problems. It's about amplifying frustration and turning it into blame. And while it raises real issues, it completely fails to understand them. Because the truth is simple. Dogs aren't the problem. People aren't even the problem by default. Irresponsibility is the problem. And if we actually want solutions, we need less outrage and a lot more accountability and nuance. With that being said, though, overall, that's my response to this video. There was a lot. I'll leave a link in case you guys want to check it out. I think I've kind of broken it down as best I can. And overall, it does seem like, especially with this individual, they clearly lose the plot, especially with every single video that they have uploaded. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, it's all in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one, take care, and I'll see you guys next video.